Hello, y'all. Let me turn this down a little bit. Make sure y'all can hear me. Hello. Welcome to the Orisha. And I know it's Friday. I'm sorry, y'all. It's Friday. So welcome to your Orisha Trauma Terror Fridays. Yeah, I'm glowing this dragon's blood sage all over this card, all over this deck. All right, y'all. So welcome to the Pataki. The Pataki of the Orisha. Here we go. All right, y'all. So we'll get to it. On Thursdays, I try. Let's clean this deck. Let's make sure we clean it with all energy and we get whatever messages that need to come in for the collective. On the bottom, we got the King of This. Starting this reading out on the bottom. So I try to do every Thursday. I'm getting better at it. It's coming to bi-weekly, y'all. So I'm getting better at it. We're going to speak it into existence, right? We're getting better. Let me ash this a little bit. Don't be afraid to blow on your sage, y'all. Get that good smoke going. Clean these cards. All right. Ancestors, spirit guides, as we sit in this space, I'm asking that you clean these cards and give us the Trauma Terror Thursday on a Friday. Thank you. All right, y'all. So, as you can see, got the deck out. We ready. We doing the thing. So, what's happening? Yeah, my Florida water, y'all. You gotta make sure we get all the correct messages for the collective. So, yeah, I said what I was going to do is I was going to start making sure I just get these messages out. So I told you on the bottom, we started with the King of This. So we're going to see what messages we have for Trauma Terror Friday. Normally it's on a Thursday, I'm sorry. But on a Friday, going a little bit earlier, we're going to see what we got. All right, so if you don't know, these are the Patakis of the Orisha Tarot by Andrew McGregor, Obatilme. All right, we got the Lovers. Somebody falling in love. So what I do is I go ahead and pull the cards that I'm going to pull, the set cards for that day, and then I just read straight from the book. You can take what resonates and take it with you or no. I ain't trying to tell no specific story in nobody's life, none of nobody's personal business, but I am attempting to give us a lot more insight as we go through these trauma days. And I say trauma days because a lot of us be going through some stuff. Breakups, makeups, backstabbings. And what I'm trying not to do is just set a tone for things. What I want to do is allow our ancestors to speak to us through their stories. Tell us what we can do to correct things or what things may be coming. So I appreciate my spirit guides. Thank you so much. So right now we got the Lovers, the Nine of Discs, the Ten of Wands, the Fool. Ooh, it's 12/2/21, y'all. The Fool. Ooh. All right. How many cards we gonna pull, ancestors? As many as I want. Let me make sure these go back in here. Listen, I didn't drop them, y'all. I don't know which ones they want. There's a lot going on here too. We're gonna ask. Oh, okay. They said take two, not one, two. They said we're going to drop those two so you can figure out those are the ones. So the Six of Discs and the Ten of Swords, I had said it. There was some backstabbing, some stuff that was going on. And you know what? I just want us to be able to handle things a lot better. I want our ancestors to be able to continue to guide us. And sometimes you need to hear it from a real person who listens. Most of the time. Most of the time, right? I'm still out here in my human form. That Two of Wands, somebody's still going through some conflicts over decisions that need to be made. I don't know what happened. All right, so what I'm not going to do is divine all of these for y'all. What I am going to do is ask, please, for one card, some clear connections. Today is 12/2/21, and I just want to find out what y'all got to say to the trauma fam. Because, it's Friday. They want to know what's going on with this trauma they going through. Is there going to be some closure? Is there going to be some new stuff that show up? How they should handle it? Is it going to be beneficial? Is it not? Can you help us out with any more messages? The Hangman. Any more messages? Oh, okay. Y'all gave me a lot, so we'll take the King of Cups. Any more messages? Any more? For 12/2/21, we're getting close to another year completed. Y'all giving me a lot. Queen of Cups. So apparently there's some people who doing some love things around here. Some love things. So we got the Lovers at the beginning, the King of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. So somebody's about to meet their match. And we got the Knight of Wands. So there's a lot going on. All right. Is there any more messages before I go into this? How many cards we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 11 cards. Is there an overall message for all of these 11 cards? Is there an overall message for the 11 cards? Yes, the Page of Discs. That is the 12th card. All right, so let's talk about it. We're going to start at the beginning, y'all. The Lovers. I be jacking myself up, man. Left my glasses. It's okay because, the Lovers. It says the Lovers is one of those cards that isn't really what it seems. At first glance, it may show romance, love, or even marriage. However, tradition says it is a card of ambiguity. Older decks show a central figure, usually a man with two women. It is said he is choosing between them, or that one is a chaperone and the other is his date. The only thing that is truly clear is that a choice is to be made, but whether it is the right one remains to be seen. In the stories of the Orisha, there can be found many examples of intrigue between lovers, such as one charming a lover away from another Orisha to be with them. These stories are one of the places that the non-Western nature of the Orisha stands out. The use of magic to sway lovers is used by many to either win the heart or persuade someone to sleep with them. Many stories carry cautionary tales about trying too hard to win, such as with Oba on the 5 of Cups in this deck. The king of a town wanted to wage war on a town of women. He asked his warriors to go and capture them. Shango, Babalawe, Ogun, and others all went and were turned back in defeat. The king then asked the female Orisha to go. Yamaya said Oshun should go first, but Oya, being proud and fierce, insisted she go first. Returning defeated, Oshun was then sent out. Being wise, she divined before going and was told to bring a calabash, a kind of gourd, she could play and sing with. She made her offerings and went singing about how she did not know how to fight. As she sang, the women in their town came to see what she was talking about. They put down their weapons and joined her in song. Together, they all left the town of women. She walked them right into the city where the men were waiting outside. Together, they all lived and became followers of Oshun. So the symbolism, the city of women on the hill in the background I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. In the background for separation, Oshun with her Cherokee or Shakari, sorry, playing and singing, a line of women dancing and following her. So divining this card. This is a card where we need to be clear about what we want. We cannot suppose that others know what we need or how to go about getting it. We cannot rely on traditional roles either. It may be that only through divination is the way forward known. It is also important not to fight. Confrontation won't win the day when this card shows up. Unclear path, lots of bad advice. So somebody may give me y'all whatever. A person's attitude is interfering with getting what they want. Others are showing off but unable to deliver. And when you succeed, everything will be yours. So solutions, go for divination often. Do not listen to braggarts. Talk to Oshun and do not disrespect women. That's the lovers. So the 9 of discs, y'all. Which, if you're not familiar with the 9 of discs would be the 9 of pentacles. And is that. Which, here we go. When we see this card, this is a time, great growth in a person's life. So we got some growing, y'all. I'm sorry. Everything they have been working on and hoping for is flourishing. These things will continue to increase going forward and life becomes easier. Orisha Oku is often said to be a farmer at a deeper level. He is the Orisha who knows the mysteries of making things multiply. Originally, his domain was farming and working the earth. So in time, his cult became less popular as people moved away from working the land. At some point, people found that this Orisha also helped with growth around prosperity and work. So he has become to also be associated with financial stability and prosperity. As we grow in our work or relationships, we move through various phases like the seasons. One set of skills falls away as others are needed. Another set of skills get repurposed to a new focus as new challenges present themselves. Relationships evolve as the partners involved grow and change. When we see this card, it's obvious that there is growth, but it's also important to understand the changes that come with that growth. Yeah, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. So this person is facing the abundance that blesses and challenges them at the same time. They are exceeding what they've done and need to learn new ways to handle this growth and prepare for the future. Success and abundance, new opportunities that build on the success up to now, a dynamically changing situation. So solutions, give something to the earth, grow and tend to a garden, go back to school, take time to look at the big picture. All right, so the 10 of Wands. When this card shows up, the person feels like they are living in a prison. They are burdened and able to move forward. Life and their actions have conspired to remove options from the person's life. Things are not necessarily beyond hope, but the way forward requires admitting defeat, going backward, or asking for help, all of which the person is loath to do. Obatilme wanted to travel to another town, so he consulted the oracle. He was told not to go, but insisted on it. He was told that when he left, he should make sure he did not resist or retaliate whatever happened, and to bring 3 changes of clothes with him. Irritated by this advice, he packed only 2 outfits. On the road, he ran into a shoe who asked him to help lift a jug of red palm oil so he could carry it on his head. It spilled on Obatilme's white clothes, so he changed and continued on his way. He soon ran into a shoe again, who asked the same favor with the same result. After changing a second time, Obatilme continued, and when the shoe appeared a third time, Obatilme refused to help, so his shoe threw the oil on him. Without a third change of clothes, he had no choice but to carry on. As he traveled, he ran into a white horse that was roaming free. Knowing it belonged to Shango, the king of the city he was visiting, he captured it and continued. Soon city guards came and arrested him as a thief. With his clothes dyed red from the oil, no one recognized him. So he lingered in jail until, out of anger, he stopped the rain so the crops would fail. In time, Shango divined to see why nothing would grow and was told to free the innocent man in his jail. When he went to find Obatilme, he freed him and the rains returned to the land. So here we are with this card. You have one problem to solve in this reading: how to get this person out of the bind that they've gotten themselves into. That's your divining, y'all. A dead end with no clear way forward, too much on your plate and everything suffers, depression brought on by neglect. So solutions: don't go against divination, don't retaliate, and look for the person who has been wronged. So the Fool. The Fool. I'm just saying. You could take what you need from this reading. That's all I got. Take what you need from the reading. Alegwa is perhaps the most central spirit in the Lukumi tradition. He is one of a few who knows why you came to Earth and what you should do while here to fulfill that destiny. He is also tasked with the job of testing us, which he often accomplishes through various kinds of tricks. It is said that he is both a young child and an old man, combining both aspects that people associate with the Fool card of the tarot: innocence and concealed wisdom. Alegwa allows for communication to happen on every level of creation, whether it is between cells in your body, wires in your home, or this level of creation and the other side. When people go for divination with Oloshas, it is Alegwa's shell that speak, offering guidance and starting or restarting the process of setting us on the road to fulfilling our destinies. Often the Orisha advise us based on our own experiences. Alegwa was very jealous of the creator's favorite pet, the African gray parrot. He stole and hid this bird, so when the creator went searching for their pet, it was nowhere to be found. The creator asked everyone what had happened, and of course everyone did not knowing anything about the theft. Eventually the bird got free, and in doing so had to drag itself on the ground, making it bleed and dyeing its tail feathers red. Sorry, y'all. When the creator found their pet and learned what happened, they cursed Alegwa to wear the tail feather on his head for the rest of his days. So, symbolism. I'm going to read the symbolism of this particular card, y'all. The African gray parrot feather symbolizes learning from our mistakes and suffering. The beaded canes which Alegwa opens or closes the path for people. 16 cowrie shells through which we gain wisdom and return to our path. A concrete Alegwa head, often consecrated and given to help bring Alegwa's protection and guidance into a person's life. Swirling energy, showing the chaotic energy of the world that needs navigation. So divination, the card asks us to assess where we are on our path. Are we lost and wandering in the world? Have we found our destiny? Are we living it well? With Alegwa, we need to ask whether we are using the wisdom we have and are open to growing beyond the childish ways in which we may still be living. What is closed might be closed for a reason. How are you being immature? If this is a test, what would passing it look like? Are you choosing chaos? So solutions: listen to the spirit's advice, divine before making major decisions, make offerings to open your way. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just reading what they mean. I'm just saying. Some of us need to take some good advice. That's all I got. That's all I got. Some of us will have to take some good advice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the 6 of this. Because I listen. It seems like our ancestors got our numbers. I'm just putting it out there. And I'm not saying it's speaking in my situation or not. I'm just putting it out to say it seems like our ancestors got our numbers. They call on the line. They giving us the information we say we needed. So the 6 of this says material success comes in many forms. It might be money, health, or employment. While we are here on earth in this body, we need all these things and more in order to thrive. In the 6 of this, we find the fruits of our labor and all we need within reach. So apparently We doing what we need to do, some of us. And Alegwa prays in front of her Orisha. While ideas of growth and evolution are definitely a part of these traditions, the prayers highlight the deeply practical aspects of life that are prayed for. Traditional prayers often end with a litany of what we do and do not hope for in life. Let me not see death. Let me not see sickness. Let me not see loss. Let me not see tragedy. And let me not see worldly troubles. Take these away and let me see money. Let me see children and a long life with a clear road. We could say, let me thrive in this world if we wanted to just sum it up. So symbolism, Oshun in yellow, owner of the sweetness of life. Yemaya in blue and white, who brings stability. Obatilme in white, who brings peace and wisdom. I'm sorry, I got to turn the page. Shango in brown, who brings virility. Alegwa in clay dish, who guides us on the road. And Ogun in Akusi in black, who helps us hunt and fight. So in divining, here we find the rewards of life. This is a card of prosperity and a clear way forward in life. Often it shows up to mark a level of success or achievement. The person who this card comes for has all the elements they need to accomplish anything they set their mind to, so long as they continue to work. Prosperity, promotions, a success at work, a reward for your previous efforts, a time of great blessings, putting your knowledge to work for you. So solutions, work what you have, use your tongue to get what you want, and work for yourself. And then the Ten of Swords showed up. And sometimes everybody be like, oh my gosh, it's the Ten of Swords. You should be out. I'm going to just tell you what the Pataki says about it. It says this. This card is possibly the worst in the deck. It is a card of ruin, betrayal, and things which we cannot recover from. The only good thing with this card is that after losing everything, you have nothing left to lose. Whether you have the power to regain anything remains to be seen. The Orisha traditions in the diaspora exist because of the Atlantic slave trade. The people who introduced the Orisha to the Caribbean and Americas were brought by force. Whatever lives they had prior were gone, and many of these people did not survive the trip and even have the hope of starting again. The legacy of these events continues to play out in the news on a regular basis. The cost of colonialism of people of color and indigenous peoples beyond counting, robbing them of their history, their lives in the present, and the future they might have had. Yeah. Symbolism, y'all see it. I ain't even going to go into what this card got on here, but you see it. Let me tell you. I resonate with the fact that the only way from here is up. So if you found yourself in a position where you ain't got it, you won't have to listen to this. This card says that a deep betrayal is happening that might cost the person everything. Though the common imagery of this card shows a figure that has been stabbed in the back, people usually know their enemy. Sometimes this is part of themselves that cannot help but ruin things. Other times it is a person whose bad behavior is excused until it's too late. The ruin experience is never a random occurrence. That energy is found in the tower. Tragedy, loss of everything through betrayal, obstacles brought about to a person's life by the legacy of colonialism, violence and death, accidents, or fighting. Solutions, do not get into a physical fight, watch your back, and do not give people a second chance. Do not let your vices ruin your life. I'm minding my business and reading these cards. That's all. Listen, minding my business and reading the cards. The Two of Wands. That's where we at with this. The Two of Wands with the two rams. Here we are. I'm just going down the line, y'all. So, reading the cards. The Two of Wands is a card of friction. Often when it shows up in a reading, people are struggling to maintain their independence with others they are choosing to be involved with. How this tension is handled will determine whether this is a good or bad thing. In the Odu Osa is the proverb, two rams cannot drink from the same bowl. As the card shows, the butting of heads is inevitable. This proverb speaks to the problem of stubbornness that persists to push our agenda brings into our life. Certainly someone will feel they lost in the end. Perhaps everything will be lost. Yet it is not required that things play out this way. The water over which the Rams fight could bring coolness to the situation, but could lead to better outcomes for everyone. Which could lead to better outcomes for everyone. There is a way for heads to butt in a productive manner. The hammer strikes the steel on the anvil, working with it to shape useful tools or outcomes. The heat is centered on the task, shaping the metal. The action is not focused on the individuals involved. Unlike the heat in the heart of the Rams, the fire becomes productive and not destructive. So, when this card comes up in a reading, everyone involved is making the worst of their stubbornness. Deciding whether or not the situation is workable will depend on the motivations of each side. With a clean heart, the situation could be tremendously productive. But if people are unwilling to change, it's better to walk away. Everyone thinks their ideas are right. People are not in control of themselves. Wanting the same thing is no guarantee of success. Planning and patience are the only way forward. So solutions: count to 10 before reacting. Drink a glass of water. When you are feeling hot, take a break and reconsider the whole thing. So some of y'all might have been worried, like, I don't know if I should do it. Maybe the ancestors said, listen here, I'm going to need you to not go after the person who's trying to set you up. You got some stuff going on. The Hangman is next, because the Hangman, listen. The Hangman. Y'all gonna find out. I'm gonna tell you right now about it. I'm gonna tell you about it. Here we go. This is the Hangman. Traditionally, this card depicts a person strung up by one foot. The card speaks of being trapped and stuck in circumstance. In the older decks, it can speak of the idea of punishment for some kind of wrongdoing. For more modern sensibilities, it is about the ways in which our ego traps us by attachment. Whatever view you take, it's a card people usually want to get past as quickly as possible. Yet, usually they linger here. These days, many people seek to become a priest. It has come to be seen as an important status booster, and many consider it the best path of spiritual growth. Historically, however, priesthood was a role that arose in response to deep or dire problems that required something equally big to resolve. In some of the most dire cases, a person would be marked as a slave to Oka if their circumstances were so bad that they required initiation immediately. In these cases, the person would not leave their godparents' house until arrangements could be made. They would live there for weeks or months until their family could put everything together. People may be marked this way through a reading, during the initiation of a priest, or while an Orisha is possessing someone. They would then have a mazo, an elaborate multi-stranded beaded loop placed over them symbolically. It would bring them closer to Obatilme so he could watch them during this dangerous time. Though many see it as something to be celebrated now, it would often been met with tears by those who understood its deeper symbolism. Being told your life is a mess is very hard to take, even if you know it. People often go through a variety of feelings. As a reader, it's important to keep good boundaries. Your job is to deliver a good message, not to get caught in what the current does with it. If they argue with you, let it go. Give it some time to go think about it, and do not try to explain how it fits their life or makes it easier for them. They need to resolve their business personally. So listen, they flat out saying if it don't resonate with you, it don't resonate with you. That's it. So dividing, the person who receives this card is suffering. Their life is not moving forward, and something negative is pursuing them. They need to make a big change to move forward instead of repeating the past. Often the person actually plays a part in keeping the cycle of negativity going, yet their ego or mental state prevent them from seeing how the cycle works until it's too late. The person knows you will say these things, but won't want to listen or are able to act on your good advice. Things are not moving ahead. Plans will fail. The person may be their own worst enemy. They need to find more fertile opportunities elsewhere. The bigger the move, the better. So some solutions. Admit you can't fix your own problems. See the appropriate professional. Do not drink or do drugs. Make an offering to the earth. Pray to Obatilme constantly for help. And do not go back where you've been. So it seems like you ain't supposed to be moving backwards. All right, here we are at the King of Cups. Somebody was trying to back up. You don't need to back up. King of Cups. This card is sometimes said to hold the Holy Grail in one hand. It is a card of deep spiritual connection to the other side. Through the energy of this connection, we are able to be healed and reborn. With this card, miracles are possible. Singing is a central practice in the Orisha traditions. Most songs have a call and refrain style with an Obatilme lead singer performing one part and the rest of the people singing the response. It is the job of the Obatilme to use their ashe and knowledge to call the Orisha to be present at ceremonies. They know the art of enticing the spirits into possessing their devotees so they can bring messages and healing. Many of the miracles spoken of come from the Orisha in the possession state. The singer must know how to coax the Orisha into coming down, when to push, praise, or argue. So there you go. So this card walks the balance between control and letting go. The singer must let it out and go with the flow, but still hold to traditional structure. There's a room for artistry, but only to a point. The energy with this card can be overwhelming, and it takes a lot of self-awareness not to get lost as the Orisha draw close to the ceremony. Reach for everything you want, expect a miracle, and work with what you get. Beware getting lost in distraction or intoxicated by circumstance. Do not forget you lead by example. Teamwork is the only way forward, even if you are the star. Says solutions. If you don't ask, nothing will happen. Pray loudly. The spirits are hard at hearing. Be joyful in your work and devotion. The figure in this art was inspired by the famous Olympia Alfaro. So, you listen. If you out here asking, you might want to ask a little louder, is what that said. So the Queen of Cups. It says, still waters run deep with this card. The Queen of Cups is a person of deep thought and often more profound creativity. Though they may at times struggle to express themselves in the words, they do not have this challenge when making art. Art plays an important role in Orisha traditions. There is a deeply codified aesthetic that expresses itself from seemingly simple things like the necklaces initiates wear to elaborate outfits and thrones of an initiation. Though there is a lot of room for creativity, the colors, patterns, and materials are all set. It is not any blue that Yamaya Agunte takes, but a specific dark blue. It is not just a pink bead, but one made of coral. Art is a part of the process of calling, birthing, and honoring the Orisha. Artists make elaborate fabric thrones for anniversaries and initiations. Metalworkers make tools and crowns to help consecrate and adorn the Orisha. Instruments, outfits, and more are all elaborately made and embellished. A multi-strand mazo, the multi-strand ornament, like the one being worked on in this card, might have 20 hours or more of careful beating by hand. So, this card is one of expression, devotion, and hard work. The person it describes must use all three elements in order to find success. This is also a card of patience. Through whether patience will be rewarded or not depends on how the card falls in the reading. Creativity is the solution to your problems. There's a communication challenge here. Things must be done the right way. Do not cut corners. Others do not know what they want, and so how can they be happy with what you do? Solutions. Use your words. No one knows what you're thinking. Make something for spirit with your hands. Do not imitate tradition and toot your own horn. So let's get to the King of Wands. Y'all. They getting with it real quick. I asked the ancestors for some stuff. My bad. It's the Knight of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. The person, this card shows gets things done. They have a clarity of focus that is sometimes off-putting to others. At times, they may have a gruffness that even offends people. It all comes from their belief that getting things done is more important than people's feelings. During larger ceremonies, the amount of work is seemingly boundless. There are weeks of preparation, days of ceremony and cooking, and then the cleanup after 50 people have all lived and worked together for a weekend. One of the most often overlooked parts of this work is the proper disposal of the ceremonial remains. Each might be marked for a specific location. Ideally, they are taken far away from where the ceremony was done and placed where they will not be found disturbed by neighbors or pollute nature. The children of the Orisha, known as the warriors, Alegwa, Ogun, and Okusi, are often called on to help with this process. Alegwa and Ogun are referred to in songs as the ones who carried the load. Their priests are said to have the ability to handle the energy of this work as well. This work well. My bad, y'all. I don't want to misquote. So divining, this person has great energy and focus, but others do not understand them. They are at times lacking in social graces in a way that may limit them. Being stronger than others is a blessing and a curse that can open doors or bring about competition and jealousy. Traveling for work, others rely on you. Do not let them down or let them take advantage. Trust in your strength, but do not use it all up. Knowing the best places to go is a gift. So solutions: do not cut corners, be polite, do not linger in hot places, a street corner, etc. Do not do things halfway, be mindful of the law. And I asked for the last one, right? I said, just tell me the overall general energy in the 12th card of this reading. Just give me the 12th card is the page of this. I said, the page of this, which would be a page of Pentacles. I said, give me an overall gist of what all of this means. Just tell me what all of this means. This is what all of this means. The person we find in the page of this is hardworking and has aspirations towards bigger things. Whether they are patient or not about their journey often dictates whether they will be successful or not. In a ceremony that involves sacrificing animals, someone has to clean them and prepare them for cooking. At large ceremonies, such as during a priest initiation, you might see a large circle of people plucking and chatting. Learning how to properly pluck a bird can be a tedious and frustrating process. In prepping the birds for plucking, the birds must be dunked in hot water to loosen the feathers. Unfortunately, the heat from this creates a particularly unpleasant smell of wet feathers. No one looks forward to this job, yet it is essential to the practice of the religion. The menial task is tied to maintaining a respectful relationship with the animals whose lives sustain us, body and soul. All right, y'all. So divining, what does all of this mean? This person has large aspirations, but is at the point in their life where there is much work to be done that is not inspiring. As a reader, it's important to be clear that the road to their goal is reachable, but slow going. Whatever the topic of the reading, the person must prove themselves before they will be able to enjoy more of what they are looking for. Hard work will pay off. You are becoming a part of something. Do not put the cart before the horse. Do not be afraid of the dirty work. So solutions: tend to what feeds you, ask what needs to be done, and be respectful. That's the overall of this entire, that was your, here we go. Your Patty Keys of Orisha Tarot. Here we go. That's how we do it. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. That's where we are. And I hope to see y'all back soon. Look, let's see if I can get it together.